My fingers were shaking so hard, I almost couldn't finish that letter. I'd already typed out the subject line, cold and final, every word pressing like a quiet blade into something thin and tired between us. For weeks, I'd barely slept. My throat would close up every time I thought about telling the truth, how I didn't have any strength left, how I wanted to quit, how it all felt just too much. But right when I was about to finish, my hands started trembling out of nowhere. And it wasn't fear of what might happen, or some logical doubt echoing in my head. It was something raw that rose up from deep inside, like an old cut bursting open, making me realize I was still alive and hurting under all my numb, reasonable reasons. Have you ever thought you could do anything? Be ruthless, be decisive, until your hands start shaking, your heart races out of control, and suddenly you can't type another word. I wanted to yell at myself, just get it over with, just finish. But I couldn't. I slammed my hand on the table, just to remind myself I was really there, breathing in that empty room, the cold laptop light turning my skin ghostly. People say you have to be strong and logical to make a clean break, to end things for good. But I think it's the ones who dare to look straight into that deep trembling, who actually get to choose for themselves. For the first time, I let myself feel it. Let all the fear and confusion pull me back to the surface, messy and gasping, but finally, undeniably, myself. I deleted every word, like tearing off a mask I'd been wearing for way too long. No one saw me in that moment, alone with nothing but the blue light in my pounding heart. I didn't care anymore about what I was supposed to do or how it would look. All I could hear was this quiet question inside: are you deciding? Or are you just trying to calm your mind and ignore this shaking? I didn't have an answer. I let it hang there, unanswered. That night, all I texted my friend was one short line. I couldn't send the letter, because this feeling inside me was screaming to be honest. Neither of us said any more. But a week later, we met again. No awkwardness, no endings, no new beginnings. Just two people, everything real and uncertain. And somehow, that was enough. Maybe some people would call it weak, not going through with it. But I know that in the moment I let that trembling reach me all the way through, I was finally in control of my own life. Not everyone can strip away all the reasonable answers and face the real truth inside, especially when it's messy and silent. I still don't know what the future will bring. Maybe we'll drift apart, maybe we'll get closer. But this time, I've stopped trying to predict, and deep under all that shaking and not knowing, I can finally hear myself again. When was the last time your own hands started shaking before a big decision? Next time, instead of shutting it out, maybe just sit with it and listen. Sometimes, when you're most lost and your fear is right there, that's exactly when everything starts to change.